Today, I'm going to show you how to add a blog to your Framer site. I'm Harriet from Drop and Blog. Let's get into it. Once logged into your Framer admin account, you'll be taken to your projects page. We have a demo site ready here that we'll use, so choose and click on your project. And you'll be taken to the site editor. You want to add a new page for your blog. Here on the left-hand side of the editor, make sure that you're on the Pages tab. Then click on the plus icon here next to Pages. And in the pop-up menu, select New Page. You'll see here that the slug defaults to Page. Let's change it to Blog for your blog page. Now, since this is a blank page, you'll have to add header and footer elements. Here on the left, switch to the Assets tab. Expand Project. Expand Navigation. Then drag and drop the navbar element into the page. And do the same for the footer element. Now copy the drop and blog embed component and go back to your Framer site editor. On the left-hand side menu, switch back to the Pages tab and make sure your blog page is selected. Then paste the drop and blog embed component and you'll see it added right under the footer. Drag the embed component between the header and footer elements. Make sure that this component is selected, and in the right-hand side menu, scroll down to the Embed section, where you'll see that this is where you add your blog ID. You need to add this before you're able to display your posts on your blog page. You'll find your blog ID in your Drop and Blog account's code and layout page. Under blog code under step 1, inside this line of code, your blog ID is between embed.js and .js. So select your blog ID, copy it, then go back to your Framer site editor, and paste it here beside blog ID. If you click outside or hit enter, you'll be able to see your blog here in the preview. Next, add a link to your blog in your navigation menu by double-clicking on the header element here. We'll select the furthest right of these menu items, then copy and paste. Now that you've duplicated a menu item and the menu here on the right, scroll down to the nav/navlink section and customize your blog link. Next to title, name your blog page. We'll type in blog to be straightforward. Then next to link, from the drop-down, choose your blog. Now you've got a link to your blog in your navigation menu. We'll switch back to the Pages tab and select our blog. Once you've added the blog component and the blog link to your navigation menu, you have just one more step to complete integration, which is to create a code override. Switch to the Assets tab here and scroll down to the Code section. Then click on this plus icon and choose New Code File in the pop-up menu. In the pop-up window, name your new code file Drop and Blog Override and select New Override. Then click on Create. Now, we don't need this code, so we'll just delete all of it and paste in our own code that we have copied. No need to save here. It will be applied once you publish your site. Now switch back to the Pages tab, select your blog page. Now we need to apply the override to the blog menu item. Double-click the header element, select the blog menu item, and on the right, in the Code Overrides section, click on the plus icon, and you'll see the file selected is Drop and Blog Override, which is the file that we just created. Next to Override, select Drop and Blog Link. Then we can go ahead and click on the Publish button here on the upper right. Then in the pop-up, click on Update. Once confirmed that your site has been updated, click on your site link here, and you'll be taken to your site in another tab. There's your blog looking great. Let's check out one of the posts, and everything is working as it should. Now that you've added a blog to your Framer site, the obvious next step is to start creating content for your blog through your Drop and Blog account. This is where you'll be creating all of your content. You won't have to do anything twice, as all of the content created in Drop and Blog will automatically sync with your Framer site. So everything you post through Drop and Blog will automatically appear in your Framer site. To start, we'll show you how to create a post using Drop and Blog's Post Editor. Go to your Drop and Blog account's Posts page, click on the Add Post button here, and this action will take you to your Post Editor, which is where you can add your content. The first thing you'll want to do is add a post title. As an example, we'll type in Create a Blog on Framer with Drop and Blog. Great! And this here is the content area where you add your post content. There are two ways you can add your content. You can either type in your content here directly, or you can copy content you've already created on Google Docs or other word processors. Then paste it here into the Post Editor's content area. We have already prepared content here on a Google Docs that we'll copy. Then paste into the Drop in Blog Editor's content area. Now we have some content to work with here. But before we show you the tools you can use within a Drop in Blog Editor, we'll show you how to use Smart Snippets, which you can also add from here in the top bar. So we'll go ahead and save our draft. Then to go to the Smart Snippets page, hover over the More tab here, and in the drop-down, click on Smart Snippets. Then you'll be taken to its dedicated page. Smart Snippets are basically reusable content blocks, meaning a piece of content that you can create, then add to a single or all of your blog posts. You can also choose where this content appears in your blog post. A Smart Snippet can be anything from an image, a video, a call to action button, to a simple paragraph. So here in the Smart Snippets page, we'll click on the Add Your First Snippet button. And now in the Snippet Editor, you can either use the Code View to add code from third-party apps, or use the Editor view to utilize tools that the Drop in Blog Post Editor offers. As an example, we use an image that will be linked to a PDF checklist, as offering free resources like downloadable checklists is one of the ways you can engage with your audience. The first thing we'll do is add an image by grabbing it from our local storage and simply dropping it inside the content area here. Then we'll add a link to the image by clicking on the chain icon here in the pop-up menu that appears. And in the next pop-up that appears, paste our link under URL and click on the Insert button here. Next, on the right-hand side of the page, we'll name our snippet, we'll type in checklist. Then toggle the switch to make the snippet active. And under Snippet Location, we'll select Insert with Post Editor. Then we'll go ahead and save our snippet. And we can go back to our post that we started creating earlier. Click on the Posts tab here, and click on your post. Now you're back to your Post Editor. Now, we'll show you some of the different tools from the editor's right-hand side menu and the editor's top bar that you can utilize to create well-structured and visually appealing content. You can add headings to your post. We'll add a couple of those. This line as an H2 and this line as an H3. You can also add block quotes. We'll click on this line, then click on the block quote tool here. You can add a call to action button. Simply choose where you would like your CTA button to be. Then click on the Insert CTA button here. With your CTA button added, click on it. And in the pop-up bar, click on the pen icon. And in this pop-up, add your link under URL. Customize your text under text. We'll type in download the integration tutorial. Then click on the Update button here. And there is your customized CTA button. You can also very easily add images to your post. You can simply copy and paste an image into the editor. We have an image ready here from a Google Doc that we'll just copy. Then back to the post editor, select where we want to place the image, and paste. Another way to add an image is by clicking on the Insert Image tool here from the top bar, which will open the file manager and you can choose your image from there. And if you want to add a video, click inside the content area here where you want to place your video. Then click on the Insert Video tool here in the top bar. A pop-up will appear where you have two ways of adding a video. You can either paste the video URL here, or you can switch to the Embed Code tab and paste your code here. We'll use a video URL. We've got a URL copied, so we'll just go ahead and paste the URL in. Then click on the Insert button here. And as you can see, a preview of the video has been added to the post. Now, from the top bar, if you click on the kebab menu icon here, you'll see more tools that you can use to organize your content and make your content look visually appealing. From here, you can add bulleted, numbered lists and tables. For lists, just select the lines you want to make into a list. And up here in the top bar, we'll choose Ordered Lists. And there's our numbered list. For tables, select where you want to add your table. And in the top bar, click on the table icon here and select the number of columns and rows you want your table to have. And you have easily created a table. To show you some of the stylings and formatting options that our tables support, we'll copy a table that we have prepared on Google Docs and paste it into our Drop and Log Editor's content area. We'll add a header to this table, click on the table cell here. Then in the pop-up menu, click on the table header icon. Once the table header is added, we'll label each column, pros on the left and cons on the right. If you click on a cell, you can add or remove rows and columns and change the cell styles here. For example, we can highlight a cell or add an outline to a cell, like so. You can definitely customize your tables to your preference. Now, remember the smart snippet we created earlier? We can now add it to our post by clicking on the Insert Smart Snippet button here in the top bar. In the pop-up window, you'll see your checklist. We'll click on the Insert button here, and there is your smart snippet added. Scrolling back up here on the menu to the right, you'll find more features that Drop and Blog offers. You have the option to show a table of contents in your post. Simply click on the toggle underneath, and you'll see your table of contents added to your post. You can also add FAQs. You can add a featured image to your blog post. Just click Select under Featured Image here, and the File Manager window will appear. We have an image ready here, and we'll just hover over the image we want to add, then click on the Insert button that appears. And that's a featured image added to our post. You can select an author for your post. You can also assign a category to your post and select related posts, as well as customize the slug of your blog post. Before you publish your content, it's ideal that you optimize your content for search engines using our SEO Analyzer and using the Mention Boost feature to help your content's AI visibility. You can use Drop and Blog's SEO analysis tool that you will find below the content area in the post editor here. The SEO analysis tool lets you add a target keyword or phrase and helps you optimize your content based on it. We'll use Framer. And over here, you'll immediately see your SEO score change. Once you've added your primary keyword or phrase, below you'll see a search engine preview along with the options to add an SEO page title and an SEO meta description. Once you've filled out these fields, you can scroll down to see your content score. Here is where you'll see suggestions on how to improve your blog post's visibility and search engine results. You'll notice these colored boxes next to the suggestions, and ideally you want them to be green. We'll show you how your changes affect your score. For example, here we have a suggestion for the blog post's word count with a minimum of 300. We'll go back to our content area and remove this part. As you can see, from 46, our score dropped down to 43, as our word count is now below minimum. Let's show you another example, this time improving our score. Here, it's suggested we add links to relevant pages, and since we have Drop and Blog mentioned in our post, we'll add a link to it. Let's just select our text, add a link, click on Insert, and when we added our link to Drop and Blog, our score climbed to 58. So it really is suggested you do your best to score high on the SEO Analyzer. Now let's click on Mention Boost here on the upper left to jump to the Mention Boost section. You can use Mention Boost to help your content's AI visibility. It will give you suggestions on how to improve your AI visibility. Once again, ideally you want these boxes to be green. Right now our score on Mention Boost is 3 out of 5, and we have a table of contents as suggested here. But if we were to remove it, you'll see here that our content score goes down to 2 over 5. So ideally, you'd want to score 5 out of 5 on your Mention Boost. Now, you're ready to publish your first post for your Framer blog. On the right side of the post editor, you'll see your blog post status. As of right now, it is a draft. To publish your posts, select the Published option. Then click on the Save Post button here. And once it's saved, you can click on the View Post button here, and your post will appear in a new tab like so. And you'll see all of the improvements we've done from starting with a simple post, all of the formatting options we've applied, and the different types of media that we've added among other improvements. You'll also see our smart snippet at the bottom here that users can click on to get a copy of our optimization checklist. Now, you might have noticed this audio player at the top of the post. This is Drop&Blog's text-to-speech feature, Blog Voice AI, that turns your written content into audio, which is a great way to increase engagement on your blog. To turn this feature on, go to the settings page of your account, scroll down to the Blog Voice AI section, then toggle the switch under text-to-speech. And here you can customize the sound of your blog by selecting a language and one of the voice options we have. You can filter the voices by gender over here, and you can preview a voice option by simply clicking on the play button right next to the voice's name. Once you're happy with your customizations, just click on the Save All Changes button here, and now you're able to offer your written content in an audio format. If you need help managing your blog, Drop&Blog supports user roles, allowing you to add your team members to your Drop&Blog account. To go to the Users page, hover over the More dropdown, then click on Users. From here, to add a new user, click on the Invite User button. In this page, add the email address of the user you want to invite. After that, assign them a role by selecting one of the default roles, either admin, editor, or writer, which have preset permissions. So for example, a writer will only be able to view analytics, manage posts, and publish private posts, and have all of these restrictions. While admins have access to all of these here. They can delete or publish content, manage settings, authors, and categories. If these set roles don't match your preferences, you can choose to create a custom role, where you can manually select which aspects of your account the invited user will have access to. Drop&Blog automatically inherits your Framer site's design. When you add a blog to your site, it will blend in seamlessly with the rest of your pages. If you want to style your blog further, you can go to the Code and Layout page of your Drop&Blog account and scroll down. Under the Advanced section, you'll see Design Customizations, where you'll be able to customize your link color, your primary font family, as well as the background color of your call to action button, among other options. And you'll see a preview of these changes to the right over here before you click here to save your changes. If you want to make even more advanced customizations, we also have a custom CSS section below, where you can add your own custom CSS. If you hover over the More tab here in the navigation menu, you'll see Drop&Blog's Import-Export tool. And if you click on it, you'll be taken to its dedicated page. Here you can export your content and create a backup of all of your posts. And if your blog is hosted elsewhere and you want to import your content, you can use Drop&Blog's import tool. And lastly, if you decide to move away from Framer and create your site on another platform, you can take your blog with you, as Drop&Blog is platform agnostic and works seamlessly with almost any platform. In our integrations page, if you click here on See Integration Guides, you'll find our integration guides for the various diverse platforms from website builders, e-commerce platforms, online course builders, page builders, to landing page builders that Drop&Blog integrates with. And that's how you add a blog to your Framer site. Happy blogging!